This is testimony from the border with a different type of news story. This was posted on June 14, 2023. Alright, so there's a new trend that popped off in China, and it's called white people's food. And of course, I have to be honest, before I begin, thanks to all the Chinese people that brought this to our attention. This is something we need to know. There's something we can get out of this. Thank you. Thank you for this. This is something Americans don't even think about. This is something Americans don't even understand. And although they're in America, don't understand that there's a so-called thing as white people's food. And not only America, they address the white people in Europe also. So this began to trend on social media, white people's food, and it brought awareness to us, because we play a part in this. We play a major part in this. And to the Chinese people, you got the right title, but it's not white people food only. Because you see, blacks eat it too. We ate and eat this too. Of course, I'm not a white male. We saw the pictures that they posted up, and I was looking like, that look good. Fresh, healthy vegetables, that look good. Lunch, sandwich. Okay, I won't do the ham. We gotten away from that. We won't do the ham, but we can do beef. All it looked fine. Vegetables looking all fresh. They weren't their stale looking, old looking. It was crispy vegetables, crispy carrots, crispy looking spinach, healthy. So they called this, let me explain how this began. It began with some students from China, and they are exchange students in America. So they see their classmates bringing their lunch, and they're looking and realizing what they're eating is something different from their custom. And so they started the trend, white people's food. They call it the lunch of suffering. China's latest social media trend is white people's food, and there's a surprising amount to unpack here. Okay. All right. They did a great job bringing something to our attention. Again, Americans don't know this. White people food going viral in China. So the news media they're talking about it. You sparking an interesting conversation, and it goes somewhere. This conversation goes somewhere. You see this? I saw this. I'm like, okay, we have tomatoes. We have cucumbers. We have a sandwich with cheese. That looked like beef on that sandwich. Okay, it's on white bread. This is how the Americans do it. This is what we grew up on. We got the spinach, fresh looking carrots. All Americans will eat this. And if that's not enough, we have those that's gone vegan. They eat vegetables only. Well, what the Chinese people are saying, this stuff is bland. No spice, no taste. And they are used to meals, even lunch, that are prepared with tender, loving care. You just don't take a piece of bread, put mayo on it, slap the meat and cheese on it, you're done. Throw in a fruit, vegetable, you're done. They take pride in their food. So let me explain here. Let me explain how this affects others other than white people, as they call white people food. America was built on slavery, and the slave master had the best meals. The slaves ate from the master's table. They ate the scrap. See, this story goes deeper than what they understand. They ate the best of the pig. They gave the slaves the scrap, the inside, the guts, the intestines, stuff you throw away. The stuff they threw away, the slaves ate it. Now, here is the Plot twist. When the slaves were let free, they continued to eat the scrap. The scrap from the masters. They continued eating the chitlins. They continued eating the pig feet and the pig ears and the pigtails. You know, the things the master wouldn't eat. And so the slaves, the master's food became the slaves' food even when the slaves were let free. They continued to eat what the master gave for them to eat. It's popular in America. It's normal. This food to Americans, all Americans, is normal. And they're looking at it like, oh my goodness, kill me now. This is the food of suffering. This is the food of I'm in prison food. This is what y'all should trend what they eat in prison. This is what should trend on your social media platforms in China. Look into the prison system food, because this is the real bland. This is the real mess. This is that food is tasteless. This for us has taste. Even the carrots, nice sweet taste. The spinach, tomatoes, nice taste. What they're eating in prison, the system should be arrested for feeding people this. They figure they're prisoners. So we're not going to feed them something. We're not going to feed them this. We're going to feed them junk. We're going to feed them crap. And they're going to eat the same crap every day. And during Thanksgiving, we'll get them a little slice of turkey with a little bit of gravy. And oh my, that's heaven for the prisoners at the time. But it's amazing what's normal to some people is strangely abnormal. One person said this food is absurd. And they were serious. How can you eat? How can you live off of this? We can't get energy eating food like this. That's another point. In China, they have a 9-9-6 rule. The 9-9-6 rule goes like this. They work from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. 6 days a week. And they're saying they can't survive off of this. And they're trying to figure out how can Americans survive off of this. Their platforms, their social media, they're making plain American or white people food, and their food spicy. They took some tender loving care to put it together to make it flavorful. And he's asking the question, is this white food? Amazing. And as you can see, this topic trend, and it's getting notoriety in all the world right now, and it's bringing awareness to us. Now, for us within the borders, we are beginning, when you get here, you begin to eat the food of the prophets. You begin to eat some of the food of the people in the scripture. See, we eat our dates. They ate dates off the palm trees, fresh. And we've been eating dates off the palm tree fresh since we've been here. And they are nutritionally packed. The things we need. The dates you get in America, they're not the same. They don't have what's needed for the body. Remember, they call this a Mediterranean diet. The people within the borders, Americans call it the Mediterranean diet. But they just, over here, it's just the food that grows over here. And what the Father did, he placed the people in the land and gave the food that they need for that land. Unfortunately, America is one of the most wickedest countries, so the food won't be as healthy, and it will be packed with chemicals and poison and all kinds of junk. This is another thing that Chinese people need to look into, and that's what's in the food of Americans, and why so many countries banning American food. And it's because of the chemical causing cancer, causing, look, the chemicals is was causing the cancer in the Americans. In other countries, they're saying we can't serve this. We're not going to approve this. So you got many other things to look into. This is great to bring to our attention because we didn't know, we never heard of white people food, but that's just what we grew up on. It's what we ate. So yeah, you people that think the people in the borders are not more Kadash, listen, these people are not eating the same food you're eating. We're eating the food that grew in land. And you're eating what? Slave masters' food. That's it. They call it white people food. Slave masters' food. And you've been eating it ever since, and you will eat it until you turn to the grave or come out. White people food trending in China. Absolutely amazing. Thank you to all the Chinese people. Thank you for this news story. This is Testimonies from the Borders.